Hello, welcome everyone to Readsmood, Books with Meaning.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking closely at a single source that really caught our attention. It's a book called Bao, One of a Kind. The author is T.C.H., and it was first published in 2025. We've got some really interesting excerpts here, the title page, the author's note, and several key pages from the story itself with these beautiful illustrations.
That's right. And what we want to do today, our sort of mission, is to go a bit deeper than just the plot.
Yeah.
We really want to unpack the core message, explore the themes of identity, acceptance, and figure out why it feels so impactful. It looks like a simple children's story on the surface, but there's real wisdom in there. Nuggets that apply to, well, pretty much anyone, I think.
Absolutely. Let's dive straight in then. One of the first things that really stands out is how the book sets up this baseline of, total self-acceptance right from page one.
Yeah.
It paints this lovely picture about Hu's world, this bamboo forest, the breeze singing, leaves dancing. And then there's Bao himself.
And the book introduces him as this soft, round panda, fluffy as cloud cotton, is the phrase used. And crucially, the text tells us he was happy. Just happy, playing with family, laughing with his friends. Squirrel, deer, frog. He felt loved.
And just as vital, it stresses he loved himself exactly as he was. Black, white, round, curious. That's key, isn't it? It's not a story about learning self-love. He starts there.
Exactly. He has this inherent sense of worth before anything external challenges it.
Yeah.
It establishes this state of wholeness.
Right.
This is Bao, just
Yeah.
existing, accepted by his world and by himself. And that makes the conflict, when it comes, so much more striking.
Okay, let's unpack that challenge, because that piece doesn't last, does it? The disruption comes with 3 new animals showing up.
Yes, the white pheasant, the Asiatic black bear, and the slender civet. And the source makes a point of saying they didn't know Bao. And that lack of prior connection seems important. It means they just see his appearance, without any context or affection. And their comments are instant, critical, aimed right at what makes him visually different.
They really hone in on it. The white pheasant sees his black and white fur and just demands, pick a color already, conform, fit in a box.
So blunt. Then the Asiatic black bear, who's described as big and strong, laughs at Bao's shape and asks, "What happened to you? Did someone spill white paint on your fur?"
Yeah.
Basically framing his uniqueness as an accident, a mistake.
Right. And the slender civet, fast and thin, goes for his body shape. With that chubby belly, I bet you can't climb a single branch, mocking him, assuming limitations based purely on how he looks.
And what's so effectively shown in the source material is Bao's reaction. It's immediate, but it's all internal. He doesn't fight back, doesn't explain.
No, he just lowers his eyes, walks away, doesn't say a word, wanders off alone.
He retreats, yeah. And the book uses that line. He felt as alone as he felt inside. That just perfectly captures how external words, especially about who we are, can create such deep internal isolation.
Even if you have memories of being loved or people around you, that disconnect.
It's a very universal feeling, isn't it? Even though it's a kid's book. That sting of judgment, the urge to withdraw. I think most people can relate to feeling judged for being, too much of something or not enough of something else.
Definitely. So he's in this state of sadness, feeling alone. And that's when the turning point comes. The source says Bao closes his eyes and he hears his mother's voice like a whisper on the wind.
And it's such a simple foundational message, she whispers. Never forget, you're one of a kind.
Just that. And the book says he opens his eyes and something inside him lit up. It wasn't someone coming to save him from the outside.
No.
It was him remembering something inside.
Right. And that really highlights, I think, a key insight here, the power of internal validation. The outside world hurt him, but the healing starts from within. He accesses this core truth, something already planted there by love and acceptance earlier in his life.
Yeah.
He's drawing on his own history of worth.
And this is what gets really interesting, because the next day, he doesn't stay hidden. He goes back to that clearing.
The others are there, looking surprised.
But Bao doesn't look away this time. He doesn't try to fade into the background.
No, the book describes him walking right to the center, round and radiant like a brave little moon. He takes up space. He's still black and white, still round, but now he's radiant, filled with this self-possession.
And then he speaks. And his statement, it's quiet but steady. It's really the absolute core of the book's message, he says.
I'm black, I'm white, and I'm round like this.
I'm not half anything. I'm not a mistake.
I'm just me, all of me.
And I'm not hiding anymore just because others don't like it.
So, that's enough.
Wow. Just laying it out there.
It's incredibly powerful, isn't it? Especially because it's so simple and direct. I'm not half anything. I'm not a mistake. He just flat out rejects the labels they threw at him.
Yeah.
But the part that really hits home for me is I'm just me, all of me, that complete embrace.
And setting that boundary, too. And I'm not hiding anymore, so that's enough. He's not asking for permission. He's just stating his reality, accepting himself. It's such a lesson in boundaries rooted in self-worth.
Absolutely. It's basically saying this is me, my existence isn't negotiable, and it doesn't need your approval.
Yeah.
And the effect this has,
Yeah.
the ripple effect, that's one of the most moving parts.
Yeah, the book says there was this long silence afterwards, one of those that tickles your chest. You can almost feel the air change.
Right. And instead of getting defensive, the other animals, they respond with their own vulnerability.
Exactly. His act of just being himself fully creates this safe space. Suddenly they feel they can reveal their insecurities.
The white pheasant admits they were always told their only value was in being pretty. But seeing Baowu made them realize that being kind is even better. It suggests maybe their judgment came from their own limited view of worth.
And the Asiatic black bear confesses, I was taught to be strong and never cry, but that scares people. And they just wanted friends, like Baowu. Their laughter before wasn't malice. It was a defense mechanism, maybe? A cover for loneliness?
Could be. And the slender civet reveals their own insecurity about their body. I'm so thin sometimes. I'm afraid the wind will carry me away. Their earlier teasing maybe came from their own fear.
It's such a brilliant way to show how judgment often stems from the judger's own stuff, their own fears or narrow perspectives. Baowu's courage didn't shame them into silence. It invited them into authenticity.
And Baowu's response to them being vulnerable is just perfect. The source says he didn't say anything else. He just opened his arms wide, warm, and soft, and hugged all three of them.
That physical act of acceptance after they've shown their soft spots, it's so potent.
It really is. It shows that real connection isn't about putting up a perfect front. It's built on, well, shared vulnerability and accepting each other anyway.
Yeah.
Bao's courage didn't just free him. It created the possibility for others to be free, too.
And the change in the clearing really cements the whole message. They put up that sign, we're all one of a kind, and the place transforms. Everyone plays together, and the crucial difference is no one laughed at anyone. No one had to hide who they really were. His self-acceptance healed the whole community space.
It shifts from just individual acceptance to, collective acceptance. The community learns that uniqueness is something to celebrate, not criticize.
So bringing it all together, what does this mean? For Baowu, for us reading it, the book ends with Baowu smiling. He's found the most beautiful place in the world, a place where being yourself is more than enough.
And the author really underlines this. The notes mention it's a tender story about being different and being loved, and a heartfelt tale about difference, kindness, and the courage to be one of a kind.
Yeah, the author, T.C.H., explicitly says Baowu is meant to be a symbol of being unique in a world that often pushes us to fit in. They talk about creating the story from a real desire to celebrate diversity, embrace difference, and remind us that there's truly no one else like us.
Yes, and I love that description the author uses for their work. Creator of stories that hug you. You really feel that intention, that warmth, in how Baowu's journey unfolds and resolves. It tackles these quite deep psychological and emotional ideas, but through a very simple, approachable story.
It really does. It drives home that lesson so clearly. What makes you different is what makes you special. Baowu shines with his own light, and the book implies, just like you, being yourself isn't a flaw, it's your superpower.
Right. You don't need to change your fundamental self to be worthy of love or belonging.
And while the book might be tagged for, ages 5-10 and great for home or classroom reading,
Oh, absolutely.
the themes are universal. Dealing with judgment, finding that inner strength, setting boundaries, building inclusive communities. These are lifelong challenges and skills. It offers this really gentle, beautiful way to talk about some quite tough human experiences.
A lovely framework, yeah.
So thinking back on this deep dive, it's kind of amazing how this simple story, these simple characters, manage to illustrate such vital, complex things. It's a potent reminder that self-acceptance isn't just like a childhood milestone. It's ongoing work for all of us.
And that having the courage to embrace our own one-of-a-kind nature, well, it can radically change how we feel about ourselves, obviously, but also how we interact with everyone around us. It makes space for others to be themselves, too.
It definitely leaves you with something to think about, doesn't it? Thinking about Baowu's journey.
Yeah.
It prompts you to consider maybe what parts of yourself you might be downplaying or hiding, perhaps unconsciously because you worry others don't like it.
Exactly. And reflecting on Bao's simple yet profound statement, I'm just me,
Mm-hmm.
all of me, and I'm not hiding anymore, so that's enough. What might it look like for you, the listener, to say that, to just be all of you?
Here, books are presented calmly, so you can discover what they're about, what emotions run through them, and why you might fall in love with reading them. Sometimes they're signed with a real name, other times under a pseudonym always written from the soul. If you're a writer and would like us to talk about your book, write to me at the email you'll find in the description. And if you want to keep discovering new books that deserve to be read, subscribe to the channel. At Readsmood, we give voice to stories that transform.